So without further ado, down the hatch you go. Everything is hooked up. We've got the power supply hooked up to the diaphragm pump, getting ready to pump this oil. I turned down just a tiny bit to see if the suction works on it, and it works very well. That was only at 3 volts too. We're gonna do a fire up and a prime, and we're gonna pull this old motor oil through these. Now it's probably gonna take this entire jug here to start the process and get these all filled up. But once they're filled up, then we can start pumping it into this small engine oil container here. Maybe a half a quart in here, and I poured it into one of those over there to recycle because I wanted to use a clean bottle for our first batch here. Put a zip tie here so that I know exactly how far it is down here, because these have sat outside for at least 2 months, so it's already got some separation, which is good. I don't want to pull up the junk, so all this is good separated motor oil. I just want to make sure I'm not going to get any water in it. All right, here we go. We're at 4 volts, 6 volts. We're pumping in. Let's bump it up to its full 12 volts. Filling up there, looking good. Should trickle down this one next. Yes, sir. Looking good. Pressure's good. All right, we should be coming up here soon. Let's drop this. It stopped because we're almost out of oil in this one of the swap jugs. Pressure's looking great. Let's put this back in here. Turn this off for just a second. I'm gonna have to turn this thing down because it's pumping it almost a little too fast. A lot more efficient than I thought it was. All right, filling this back up. And we're gonna pour some in here as it's coming out. This is a 5 micron 1-in-1. There we go. All right, so you could see all the sludge in the bottom of this jug here. There is no water in it because I know where this oil came from. I was just more worried about the sludge in it, but I poured it into this jug, and this one has been filled up with filtered oil. This is my first batch here. I don't mind circulating these filters. I want to see how clean I can get this oil. I'm just curious to see if this 1 micron will eventually take the carbon and soot out of the maybe not carbon, but the soot out of the oil. We'll go ahead and turn this back up to 6 volts. There we go. So I had a little bit of an oops here. I didn't tighten the filter down, so I grabbed the wrench real quick and tightened it down and start panicking. But we're at full 12 volts here, and what, 10 psi there, 10, 11 psi, and same with here, so that's good. But I do need another gauge in here so that I can monitor the pressure. But another thing I can monitor too is the amp draw. So as it's going up, you know, obviously that means there's more of a restriction. So right now we're just circulating the same oil. We're gonna keep doing that for maybe 15 minutes and see how she does. So with like every experiment ever in existence, you're gonna have issues. I need to redo these connections because evidently I did not use enough sealant, whereas on this one I used plenty. But yeah, I know I did something wrong here, and this is leaking as well. But yeah, so going to dedicate this gas can to use for my mix. So as I suspected, you can only get so clean. I let it circulate for about 10 minutes and it has not changed. But in the future, I do have a idea with some diatomaceous earth filtration. All right, we got it pumping in here. You can see on the inside there, it's pumping in, and we are pumping out. All right, moving pretty quick here. We're about halfway there, the 5-gallon tank, and it's chugging along pretty good. Looks like that leak has slowed for some reason, but all that will be fixed properly, of course. But for now, this test is amazing. Quick comparison, filtered, unfiltered. You can clearly tell the difference. That's very, very smooth. Very smooth. This, you can clearly feel, obviously not through the camera, but you can feel a little bit of grittiness. So I know that this filtration system is working. I mean, that feels like brand new motor oil. And yeah, it's still a little dark, but I'm not so worried about all that. So without further ado, down the hatch you go. For the first test, I'm only doing 1 quart. I've got a full tank of diesel in here. I just want to see how she does. I know 1 quart to 25 gallons of diesel is not going to make that big of a difference, but I got to start small because I don't want to screw anything up. So